It is a curious thing, isn't it? The way we decide to stop playing the game of society, only to start playing a new, much stickier game without even realizing it. You look around at the people chasing money, or status, or approval, and you think, I am done with that. I want something real. I want peace. I want to wake up. So you start the work. You read the books. You sit in the silence. You change the way you eat. You change the way you speak. But have you noticed a strange heaviness creeping in? A specific kind of tension that wasn't there before? It feels like you are walking on a tightrope. You are constantly watching yourself. Am I being mindful enough? Was that thought compassionate? Am I vibrating at the right frequency? And along with this constant self-monitoring comes a terrible secret exhaustion. You feel a distance growing between you and your old friends. You sit at dinner, and while they talk about their day, or their petty troubles, or the weather, you feel a quiet separation. You might even feel a little bit sorry for them. You think, they are asleep, and I'm trying to be awake. But deep down, in the places you don't like to look, you feel lonely. You feel stiff, like you are wearing a suit of armor made of good intentions. You have become the actor who is trying so hard to play the role of the holy man or the wise woman, that you have forgotten how to just be a human being. You wanted to become lighter, like a feather on the wind. But instead, you feel heavier than a stone. Because now, you aren't just judging the world, you are judging yourself for judging the world. You are caught in a trap of mirrors. And the worst part is the guilt. Because you know that spiritual life is supposed to be about freedom. It is supposed to be about joy. So why does it feel like so much work? Why does letting go feel like such a struggle? I want you to take a breath right now. Just let the air fall into your lungs. You don't need to force it. I want to tell you something that might sound shocking. You are not doing it wrong. You are not broken. And you are certainly not a hypocrite. This tightness you feel, this feeling of being a fake, it is not a sign that you have failed. It is a sign that you have walked into the most clever trap the mind has ever built. It is a sign of your sincerity. Only a person who truly wants the truth would suffer this much over a lie. You see, the mind is a survival machine. It knows how to survive in the office. It knows how to survive in the family. And when you brought it into the temple, or the meditation hall, or the forest, it did the only thing it knows how to do. It tried to survive there too. It saw spiritual enlightenment as just another trophy to win, just another badge to pin on its chest. So it took all that ambition, all that drive, all that need to be special, and it simply put on a new costume. It stopped wearing the suit and tie, and it started wearing the robes. It stopped chasing gold, and it started chasing peace. But the chasing is the same. The hunger is the same. And the anxiety is exactly the same. The tightness in your chest is simply the exhaustion of an actor who is terrified that the audience will see behind the mask. But what if the mask isn't the problem? What if the problem is the one trying to fix the mask? What if the very thing you are using to find freedom is the only thing keeping you locked in the cage? We are going to look at this very closely today, because the relief you are looking for is not at the top of the mountain you are climbing. It is not in the next book. It is not in the next retreat. It is hidden in the one place you are terrified to look. It is hidden in the realization that the person climbing the mountain, the person reading the books, the person trying so desperately to be spiritual, does not exist. Let's look at the game we are actually playing here, because it is a very old game. Society has handed you a script since the day you were born. The script says that life is a ladder. At the bottom of the ladder, you are not enough. You are incomplete. You are unfinished. And at the top of the ladder, that is where the good stuff is. That is where happiness lives. That is where you finally get to rest. So, for years, you climbed the ladder of success. You tried to get the grades, the job, the partner, the house. But then, you realized the ladder was leaning against the wrong wall. You realized that money and status didn't stop the ache inside. So, what did you do? You didn't stop climbing. You just changed ladders. You swapped the material ladder for the spiritual ladder. Instead of trying to be the richest person, you started trying to be the calmest person. Instead of competing for a promotion, you started competing for enlightenment. Do you see the trick? The game hasn't changed. The scenery changed. The costumes changed. but the fundamental belief is exactly the same. The belief is, I am not okay as I am. I need to add something to myself to be whole. You are treating peace like it is a shiny object you can grab, if you just stretch your arm out far enough. And this creates a split in your mind, a fracture. It feels like there are two of you inside your head. There is the bad you, the one who gets angry, the one who judges people, the one who checks their phone too much. And then there is the spiritual you, the police officer, who is constantly blowing the whistle. Hey, stop thinking that. Hey, be more present. Hey, show more love. You have turned your own mind into a courtroom. And you are playing the role of the judge, the jury, and the criminal all at the same time. No wonder you are exhausted. You are at war with yourself. And here is the cosmic joke. Here is the part that makes the whole thing so absurdly funny once you finally see it. Who is the one trying to become better? Who is the one trying to kill the ego? It is the ego. It is the thief dressing up in a policeman's uniform so he doesn't get caught. The ego loves this game. It loves the spiritual struggle. As long as you are working on yourself, the ego gets to stay in charge. It gets to feel important. It gets to say, look at me. Look how hard I am trying to be holy. I am the most humble person in the room. It is the ultimate disguise. And this leads us to the double bind, the trap that tightens the more you struggle. Alan Watts used to describe this perfectly. He said that trying to force your mind to be quiet is like trying to smooth out the ripples in a pond with a flat iron. Imagine that. You see, the water is rough, and you want it to be still. So you take a hot iron and you press it down on the water to flatten it out. But what happens? The iron just creates more ripples. So you press harder. You try to force the water to be calm, and the water gets more chaotic. This is exactly what you are doing when you say, I must stop thinking. The you that is trying to stop the thinking is just another thought. It is like trying to bite your own teeth. It is like trying to lift yourself up into the air by pulling on your own shoelaces. You can tug and pull until you are blue in the face, but you aren't going anywhere. So, why does this hurt so much? If this is all just a silly game, why does it feel like suffering? Because you are ready to see it. The pain you are feeling right now, that frustration, that sense of being stuck, it is not because you are failing. It is because you are waking up. Most people are perfectly happy chasing the carrot on the stick. They don't mind the game. They think if they just run faster, they will catch it. But you have stopped running. You have looked at the carrot, and you have looked at the stick, and you have realized you are running in circles. This anxiety you feel isn't a weakness. It is an evolutionary shift. It is the feeling of the chrysalis getting too tight for the butterfly. You aren't broken. You have simply outgrown the container. You have outgrown the idea that you can fix yourself. You have realized that you cannot use the mind to heal the mind, just like you cannot use a knife to cut itself. And that realization feels scary. It feels like falling. But what if I told you that falling is exactly what needs to happen? What if the ground you are terrified of hitting isn't there at all? Let's ask a really strange question. Why do you feel like a stranger in your own life? Most of us have this quiet, nagging sensation that we don't really belong here. We feel like we have been dropped into this world from somewhere else. Like we are an alien spirit trapped inside a meat robot. We even speak that way. We say, I came into this world. Think about that phrase. I came into this world. Like you arrived from outside. Like you walked through a door and stepped into a room full of strangers. But that is not what happened. You did not come into this world. You came out of it. Look at a tree in the garden. When an apple appears on the branch, do you say the apple was inserted into the tree? Do you say the apple is a stranger to the tree? Of course not. The tree apples. The apple is what the tree is doing. It is an expression of the tree's energy. Well, the earth is just like that tree. The earth peoples. You are not a stranger here. You are not a separate little entity sitting behind your eyes, looking out at a foreign universe. You are what the entire universe is doing at this exact location. Right now, you are a symptom of nature. But we have been hypnotized to forget this. We have been taught the myth of the skin-encapsulated ego. We believe that I ends at my skin, and everything outside of my skin is other. That is the chair, that is the wall, that is the sky. And here, inside this bag of skin, is me. This creates a feeling of total isolation. It makes you feel small, fragile, and terrified. Because if you are just a tiny, separate thing, then the universe is a giant, uncaring machine that is probably going to crush you. No wonder you are anxious. No wonder you are trying so hard to control everything. You feel like a tiny captain trying to steer a tiny boat in the middle of a hurricane. But this separation is an illusion. It is a trick of the light. You are not a thing. You are not a noun. You are a verb. You are a process. You are an event. Think of a whirlpool in a river. You can look at it. You can measure it. You can give it a name. There is the whirlpool. But is the whirlpool a solid object? Can you reach down with a bucket, scoop up the whirlpool, and carry it home? No. If you scoop up the water, the whirlpool vanishes. Because the whirlpool isn't a thing. It is simply the river moving in a circle. There is no separation between the whirlpool and the river. You cannot have one without the other. You are the whirlpool. You are a pattern of energy. You are the universe moving in a specific way for a specific time called you. And just like the wave is not separate from the ocean, you are not separate from the whole. This is the big secret. This is the thing you have been hiding from yourself. You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a drop. You are the Big Bang, still exploding. The energy that ignited the stars is the same energy that is beating your heart right now. It is the same energy that is breathing your breath. So, if this is true, if you are the whole works, why does it feel so painful? Why does the universe feel so lonely? Why would the ocean pretend to be a scared little wave? Because of the game. Imagine for a moment that you were God. Imagine you could dream any dream you wanted. You could have total control. You could have supreme bliss. You could have eternal light. For the first few trillion years, you would probably just enjoy the perfection. But eventually, wouldn't you get bored? Wouldn't you get tired of knowing everything that was going to happen? Wouldn't you want a surprise? You might say, let's play a game. Let's pretend I am not God. Let's pretend I am small. Let's pretend I am vulnerable. Let's pretend I don't know the answers. You would create a game of cosmic hide and seek. You would hide from yourself just for the thrill of finding yourself again. You would get lost in the drama, just for the joy of waking up. This is what is happening right now. The anxiety you feel, the confusion, the desperate searching, it is not a mistake. It is the universe squinting its eyes, pretending to be small, so it can feel the rush of existence. You are the universe experiencing the thrill of being a human who thinks they are lost. You are playing the role so well, you actually convinced yourself it was real. You are the greatest actor on the stage. But the play is reaching its climax. The actor is starting to remember who is behind the mask. And this is where the release happens. Because once you realize that you are the ocean, you stop being terrified of the waves. So, what do we do with this? If you are the universe, and your anxiety is just a game you are playing with yourself, how do you stop the game? How do you wake up? Here is the part where the mind gets very frustrated. Because the mind wants a method. It wants a 10-step plan. It wants a map. It asks, okay, I understand. I am the ocean. But how do I become the ocean? Do you hear the trap in that question? How do I become the ocean? A wave does not need to become the ocean. It already is the ocean. Water does not need to try to be wet. The reason you haven't found peace yet is not because you aren't trying hard enough. It is because you are trying too hard to find something that you never lost. You are like a man frantically searching his house for his glasses while they are sitting on his nose. The more he runs around, the more panicked he gets. He tears the house apart. He cries out, "Where are my glasses? I cannot see without them." But he is looking through them. You are looking for God or peace or the self with the very eyes that are doing the looking. You cannot see your own eyes. You cannot bite your own teeth. And you cannot find yourself because you are yourself. So the release you are waiting for, it is not in the future. We are obsessed with the future. We treat life like a journey to a destination. We think life is like a commute. We suffer through the traffic of now to get to the destination of then. I will be happy when I get the job. I will be peaceful when I finish this meditation course. But life is not a commute. Life is like music. When you listen to a song, you don't listen just to hear the final chord. If the goal of a symphony was to get to the end, the best conductor would be the one who played the fastest. The point of music is the music itself. The point of dancing is not to arrive at a specific spot on the floor. The point is to dance. The eternal now is the music. Stop waiting for the big flash of light. Stop waiting for the angels to sing. This moment, right here, with the boredom or the anxiety or the confusion, this is it. This is the music. So, how do we integrate this? How do we live this in a world of taxes and emails and noise? I am not going to give you a to-do list, because you already have too many things to do. I am going to give you a wu-wei shift, a shift of effortless action. It is a tiny change in the way you speak to yourself. Tomorrow morning, or perhaps later today, a feeling of pain or anxiety will rise up. The old habit is to say, I am anxious. When you say, I am anxious, you are claiming the feeling. You are gluing it to your identity. You are becoming the wave. I want you to change the sentence. Instead of saying, I am anxious, simply say, I am aware of anxiety. Do you feel the difference? I am sad makes you small. It traps you inside the cloud. I am aware of sadness makes you big. It makes you the sky. Clouds float through the sky. Some are dark, some are fluffy, some create storms. But the sky is never hurt by the clouds. The sky doesn't try to push the clouds away. It just holds space for them. Be the sky. When the tightness comes, don't fight it. Don't judge it. Don't try to fix it with positive thinking. Just watch it. Say, there is tightness. Hello, tightness. Watch it swirl. Watch it move. And you will notice something magical happen. When you stop fighting the wave, you stop drowning. When you stop trying to silence the mind, it naturally gets quieter. Not because you forced it, but because you stopped stirring the water. This is the great secret. You don't have to become anyone else. You don't have to go anywhere else. You can stop the search. You can put down the heavy backpack of self-improvement. You can take off the mask. Because the thing you are looking for is the thing that is looking. And it has been here the whole time. You are the universe finally sitting down to rest. So, take a breath. Feel the gravity holding you to the chair. Feel the silence underneath the noise. That silence is you. And in that silence, you are free.